What's going on, everybody? JT's Reborn here, and I'm in my theater parking lot. I just got done seeing Rampage, based on the video game of the same name. Well, somewhat. I mean, it is definitely a little bit of a different plot than what's in the games. They take basically like the concept of monsters roaming around smashing shit in the city, and they bring The Rock in, and you sort of get that. I mean, I played the original Rampage game, but I was mostly familiar with Rampage 2 Universal Tour because I had that game for the PlayStation 1, and I always loved, like, as soon as you start the game, you had this ridiculous newscaster go, "Tonight's top story." And then he just is, like, over-the-top crazy, and then he's just like, "We're in Rampage!" And that always stuck with me, and I just loved the, Rampage 2, just going around smashing shit. It's just relentlessly entertaining. Then you go around freeing the monsters. This movie, it's just like... You have these people, they're using genetic editing on these creatures. You have this corporate villains, like you have Malin Ackerman and some other dude, and they're just, like, they're ridiculous. Like, they're just so, like, stupid. That's the way to put it. So they're just like, we're going to take this, we're going to salvage it for money. I'm just like, oh my god, these corporate stooges, like, they made me snicker a bit with how, like cliched corporate stooge bad guy they are. So that was kind of enjoyable. And then you have The Rock, who adopted this gorilla George, who's like this albino gorilla. And, George is really good in the movie. Like, he's the standout of the film. You got him, you got The Rock, you got Naomi Harris, you got Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Joe Manganiello is advertised in the movie, but, if you're a fan of him, don't expect him to be around too long. I'm not saying that he dies. I'm just saying he's not in the movie that much. And then, so let's talk about the cool stuff in the movie. The action sequences. When you get the final act, the third act is worth the price of admission. So if you're a monster movie fan, you're going to love the third act. It's over the top, it's ridiculous, you got monsters throwing around tanks, and I'm just thinking to myself, wow, we're getting a lot of monster movies now. Like, we went like cold turkey, like nothing for years. Then, you have Pacific Rim, and then like every year since then, we've gotten something. Like 2013 was Pacific Rim, 14 was Godzilla, 15 was Jurassic World, another monster movie. 16, I think we had Shin Godzilla, and we had something else. And then we had Kong last year, and then we have, like, Rampage, Pacific Rim 2. And then we also got, like, the Meg Command, we got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So we got a lot of monster movies, like, out recently, and it's fantastic, because we don't get enough of them anymore, and it's really disappointing. So, but George is great, like the chemistry he has with The Rock, and The Rock's just cool and everything, and Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like I said, is always good. I can't think of any time I, like, ever hated both of those two in a movie. Like, The Rock can carry, like, any movie, basically, and then Jeffrey Dean Morgan just being his cool, like, kind of asshole self, but, like, he just, like, every time he's on screen, he just pops, and, like, the scenes he has with The Rock, those really are, like, those are some pretty good things. The other monsters, you have Ralph, who's, like, this wolf, who kind of reminds me a bit of Ron from, like, the Toho Godzilla movies. And then you have Lizzie, who, like, now in the games, I like George. Ralph is cool and all, but Lizzie was my favorite. Lizzie is just doesn't really resemble, like, none of the monsters really resemble their game counterparts, because, George is an albino gorilla in this one. Lizzie is like a crocodile mutated. I think that's what he was in the game. No, I think they were originally humans too. It's been a while since I played it, but I just love the combat and, smashing shit in those games. And, Ralph is just the wolf. And then they tease some of the other, like, monsters. Like, you had, like, in Rampage 2, you had the lobster, you had the rhino, and then you had the mouse. So I remember that in the second game. And I don't remember playing, like, the third game. But, yeah, like, first two acts are a bit slow. They definitely take a bit of time to get going, but, like, you're here to pay. You pay to see a movie like this if it's entertaining enough. Yes, the first two acts are, they're decent, but it's the third act that really salvages the movie, and you get some pretty funny stuff there. Like, one of the characters dies horrifically, and I was laughing my ass off. And, the corporate stooges, they get what's coming to them. And also you have this scene with these corporate stooges, so they got their office, and just their plan is just ridiculous. I'm like, why? Like, there comes a point where it's just like, just stop already. You're just so stupid. And another thing that's interesting is the Rampage video game is in the movie. Like, it's in the background, so I'm just sitting there going, like, wait a second. That's the game. That's Rampage the game. That's the arcade game right there. Why is it in the movie? It's like the fucking Double Dragon movie where they have the Double Dragon arcade system. It's the same thing, and I'm just sitting there just going like, what? What is this? Like, what's going on here? I mean, I did kind of crack up a bit at that. Trying to think of anything else to say. But yeah, the monster action sequences are cool when they happen. Like I said, the first 2 acts definitely are like, you know, they're decent. The Rock's cool and all, but like nothing really like special. But it's that 3rd act when they get to the city and they're wiping out like Chicago. That shit was pretty cool to see, and I'm just sitting there at the big screen like, wow, I'm watching giant monsters in a big budget movie just wrecking shit in Chicago. Like, I would have been like going nuts over this when I was little, but like even now I'm still entertained. But I want more of these monster movies. Like, I want more to keep coming and coming and coming. So yeah, go ahead, keep making them. Go see Rampage. It's ridiculous fun entertainment. It's mindless. You're not looking for the meaning of life when you see this movie. It's a good time. George the Gorilla is great. Some of the sign language that he does with The Rock is pretty funny. And yeah, like when the focus is on those two, I'm entertained. It's dumb, it's stupid, but it gave me exactly what I wanted. So go check it out. I'm sure you'll at least enjoy the 3rd act of it. The 3rd act is worth the price of admission. The rest of the movie's, you know, it's fine, it's decent, but it's that 3rd act that really salvages it. And it's a monster movie, so I'm happy it came out, and I look forward to seeing more of these things. I think the next monster movie is Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, and then we also have The Meg coming out with Jason Statham. Go check out the trailer for that. It's a giant fucking shark. So, yeah, monster movies are back, baby. Monster movies are back. And this is just a teaser, really, for, like, the big stuff that's coming next year with Godzilla King of the Monsters. So that's the one. That's the one that's going to go, you know, blow the roof off the place. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.